It's Mary Z Easy Recipes here. Greeting everybody on Monday. On a Monday. Today is Monday. I'm just inviting everybody who have the time to come over and just to share a few points or hints here and there. So greetings everybody. Welcome to the live stream. My name is Mary Z Easy Recipes. That's my name. So I'm inviting everybody, if possible, everybody to come over to my live stream. So I'm happy because I'm really happy to have this opportunity to host a live stream. It is really a good thing to do, and I really enjoy it, and I really like it. The main aim is just to communicate with people out there, just to communicate and to share ideas here and there. So welcome everybody. Welcome to the live stream. Uh, I'm happy because um, it's really a privilege to have time. Time is always like not on our side. But when we find time to come together and work it and come and share to, I come everybody. Today, as for me, today has been a quiet day. The weather has been just perfect, like in the morning, there were like bursts of sunlight, but thereafter there was overcast again, and the temperatures continued to cool down. So I have been watching the news, like in the morning I watched the news, and they were talking about the storm Claudia. Storm Claudia still has its aftermath, because over the weekend some places got flooded. Places like central England and Wales, some parts of those places, got flooded because of the storm Claudia. So when we have like mild weather, we really are grateful and appreciative. So they said that on the news, they said that Storm Claudia left the roads flooded. Imagine, the roads were flooded and the cars were like submerged in some places. The cars were like submerged in water, in flood waters. So the roads turned out to be like rivers. I saw that on the news, and I could see, where there's normally a street, or where there's normally where a walkway, those places became like little rivers, and it was just flooding all over the places. So water was just rushing down the streets like rivers because of the storm Claudia. So these weather patterns, they always come, and sometimes they come when we are not prepared, and it becomes an emergency. So the downpour in those areas was extremely high, and I could see some people were getting help from the emergency, from the emergency staff. They were rushing to those places to help, emergency stuff like the fire brigade, and others. And they were also saying that in some of the places there was like power cuts, so people were with no electricity. So we just hope that as we carry on through the coming few days, everything will be sorted out and people will go back to their normal lives. So um, and I also heard that in the coming few days, like in Scotland, somewhere in Scotland, there's going to be like snow falling on high ground. So the people of Scotland are expecting some snow on high ground, I don't know if it has already started, but the weather report said in a few days there's going to be snow. Places like Scotland and the West Midlands. Here I'm talking about in the United Kingdom. That's where I'm referring to. So, snow falling on high ground is expected according to the meteorologists. Oh, we have a guest in the house. Hello, 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 guest. It's AXW underscore WG. Hello, AX. How are you today? I hope everything is fine. AX is saying hi. I greet you with, and welcome you with open arms. So feel free to be in the live stream. And as you come in, you can always like the live stream, and you can always participate or share your other elements, or if you have anything like questions to ask, you can always ask them. So we are really happy to be having this live stream, and we are just hoping that many more people are going to join in, because all we like is people to join in. And as you come in, if you haven't connected with me, you can always connect with me. Because what do? I entertain, I well inform the audience. I entertain the audience. I well inform the audience with one or two ideas, and that's the best. Basically, that's what I do. So I have like interesting videos. If you check my channel, you will obviously you will find one which is maybe, or two, or three, or 10 which are interesting. So just check them out for me. I'll be really grateful. And if you decide, oh, let me just connect with Mary Z is Recipes, I'll be really grateful. So my name is Mary Z is Recipes, and I'm really happy because at the moment I'm happening to have loads and loads and loads of subscribers, or loads and loads of people who have connected to me, which I really appreciate. If you get some connections, you need to be thankful and be happy with that. So this is the scenario. I'm Mary Z's Recipes, and I'm very much grateful for my subscribers. And each time I have a live stream, I need to like remember to thank my subscribers, because without them, I wouldn't be like chatting like what I'm doing. So it is because of subscribers. That's what I mean by connections. It's because of these connections that I'm able to keep on doing the content creation, and keep on doing the what I love to do, entertaining as much as I can, and also trying to impart some information as much as I can, And as I'm doing that, I'm also like learning from other people, because I do not live in isolation. That's the good thing about YouTube. You never live in isolation. I don't know if there's anyone there who lives when they have a channel and they live in isolation. Yeah, we always like a community. We always check on each other, and the public, the audience, always come to our channels and check on us, which is really awesome. So that's me. That's me. Mary Z is Recipes. And what else can I say? I can always tell you what my interests are. I'm very much interested in cooking, and if you like cooking, you can always find something interesting from my channel. I also like gardening. So if you like gardening, you can always, get one or two ideas from me. And if you like, what else do I like? If you like music and A roommate don't be broken. Maybe I don't. I'll try that next time. There's like a caption coming up. I'll try it next time. I will. So that's what we are saying. That visit us, come to the house, come to the house of Mary, his relatives, connect with her, and support her. And by her, I mean me. I mean me, support me, and I'll be happy if you do that, and I'll be thankful. So we are still waiting for people to join in. People join in, so that we have a wonderful time together. Join in, join in. So before I go to the main topic, I have a few things again, which I need just to share with the audience. Today, the weather, I was talking about the weather, that some places they experienced, like hazardous weather from the storm cloud. But where I am, it has been mild weather. It's only like we are having like wintry sunshine. It's that kind of sunshine which will just appear briefly. It appeared briefly in the morning. Then I said, "Oh, today there's sunshine." Before even I turned my back against the window, the sunshine was gone. The wind has just disappeared among the clouds. So this is what we experience when we have like wintry sunshine. And um, sometimes we do have wintry, like over the weekend, it was all about wintry showers. Those showers which are like non-stop. They keep on, it keeps on raining in showers. And yeah, that's what was happening as well. And the temperatures, so these things happen like simultaneously. We have winter showers, the temperatures fall, and next, what happened next? And it becomes chilly and cold, and it becomes cold. So um, in these temperate regions, like around Europe, America, United States of America, United Kingdom, people are always, bracing for the weather conditions, for these like chilly weather conditions. So the people will like get prepared, they get prepared for the adverse weather conditions. So we are happy today because it's like each time I do a live stream, I really like to talk about the weather because it seems as if I'm like addicted to weather. I like to just to know what the weather is like and what to expect. I really love to explain what is happening. And also I've noticed that it's not only like in the in the mid or central England and Wales where there were floods. I've also, noticed that I heard on the news that even in Italy, they were experiencing the floods as well. So it's like the floods have just spread around this region. Oh, we have Emma. Emma is here today. Hello, Emma. Emma Fudge. Hello, Emma Fudge. Yeah, it's Emma. Hello, Emma Fudge. Emma is coming to say hi, my black queen. Wow, what an entrance! We love such greetings. It's really good. Emma is saying hi, hi, hi. Welcome, Emma, to the live stream. Unfortunately, you missed the weather report. I was giving a brief, we call it a brief weather report. How is weather where you are, Emma? Here it's just cooling down and it's really manageable. How about where you are, Emma? Oh, we have world tours with an 8K. Wow, wow, wow. Hello, world tours with an 8K. How are you and how have you been? I know you're always busy. World Trust doesn't play around. He does his videos and he's always on the move. Wow, wow, wow. Which is beautiful. Welcome, World Tours 8K, to the live stream. I'm really happy to have you here in the house of Mary Z Easy Recipes. Welcome. World Tours is saying, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. I cannot complain. Let's complain. It is really interesting. Oh, well, it was saying preparing for sleep. Oh my God, yeah, you are that time zone. I do remember you are about to go to bed. Yeah, that's the most more or less the time I go to bed myself. Because sometimes I need to do one or two things before I like retire or or go to bed. So World Tours is saying, hope you are doing well. And then Hugo Price came in and said, how much money do you make a year? Oh, Hugo, I haven't made any penny at the moment on this channel. I'm just a novice. I'm just new. So I don't know how much money I will make by the time, maybe I start making the money, if it possible, or if ever it will happen. But at the moment, I'm like zero. I don't have any money I'm making at the moment. World Tour said, she said, preparing for sleep because it's 22 past 1 in the morning. Yeah, that's the time to just prepare to sleep. So, World Tour, thank you ever so much for sparing those few minutes before you take the slumber to come to my live stream and support. That is really awesome. That is something to be thankful for. We also have Adam underscore Brami. Adam underscore Brami has some initials. His initials are E and T. Adam Brami. E T. Oh, lovely. Hello, Adam Brami. How are you today? Today is Monday, but other people, like in our different time zones, are already experiencing Tuesday, like World Tours 8K. They are already in the Tuesday. So welcome, Adam Brami, and feel free to be in this house. And it's a house where you can ask questions, tell us about where you are connecting from, and tell us if you like, if you like, you can tell us where you're connecting from. You can tell us, what else do I need to know? Your hobbies, hobbies are really interesting. I love hobbies, because I always say mine, So you can tell us where you are connecting from, your hobbies, and any other sentiments, sentiments are those like good things, we want to hear about Adam, sentiments, or any opinions about something else, maybe which is just like in your heart, those are sentiments. So we are happy today, having many visitors. We already had 444 people liking the live stream. That is extremely something to be happy with. So I continue to urge people to please do connect with me, and when you connect with me, always remember to go to the channel and watch like a short, watch a video, watch or look at a post, or what else can you do there? Oh, there's something called a playlist. If you think, oh, today you are just like, you are just at home, or you are free to do, whatever you want to do. You are not like, engaging in any other important activity like work. You can always play what is known as playlists. it is a good way as well of supporting the content creators like me, like me. So I'm really happy today because we still have a good time together. We have a good time together, and many people are really joining in, which is extremely beautiful. So today I planned, to because during the other live streams, I planned to tell people or just to remind people of these places around the world, places around the at one time, I think I talked about the countries of Europe, and I gave these countries, for example, like Switzerland, those are the countries of Europe, like Germany, like Finland, and so on, just to name a few. I also gave the states, the states of America, because America is made up of some states. They call them states. That's why it's called United States of America. So at one point, I gave out these states, so that people can just know that, oh, America, that's why it's called United States. It is this, so and so and so is the states. So I did give some of the states of America. And so today, it is going to be a different thing. I'm not giving. Um, for example, let me just go through the American states because they are only 50. It's not like many. So for America, we have the states like Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, and Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri. We have Montana, Nebraska, Nevada. We have New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma. We have Oregon, sorry, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina. We have South Dakota. We have Tennessee. I think I love Tennessee. The name is so beautiful. It's like Tennessee. Wow, it's lovely. Texas, Utah, Vermont. And I know I have a friend who lives in Vermont. We are always checking on each other's, channels. And the the friend who lives in Vermont is called Keith Bradley. So hi Keith, if you can hear me today, I know you live in that place there, Ohio, Oregon, and South Carolina. I said South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee. I mean, Keith lives in Vermont, yeah. Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin. That's another name which just amazes me. Wisconsin. I don't know if these states have meaning. I think they have meaning. Yeah. And then there's Wyoming. Wyoming. Is it Wyoming? Oh, the people who live there, the residents know exactly how to pronounce. Me, I just pronounce it my own way. So we are really happy to know that there are people, like millions of people living in that continent of North America. And you know what? The capital city of America is Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. And the state with the largest population is California. California, you know. And the state with the largest area, I think it's Texas, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Pardon me. No, it's not Texas. It's Alaska. Oh, they confuse me. Texas and Alaska. They normally confuse me. So the largest area is Alaska. Alaska. It is massive, like ground area. So now I want also to say some. Oh, we have people coming in. We have Leah. Hello, Leah. Leah is saying, hey. And Maka Parker. Oh, Maka Parker. What a beautiful name. Maka Parker is saying, hey, Maka Parker. Hey, Leah. How was your day and how have you been? So today it's just another introduction. I have like 3 introductions. Imagine, introduction is supposed to be just one, but imagine I went on to talk about weather. Then I gave a brief, like um, a mentioning of these states of America, just a sweeping, like when we say that's a sweeping statement. So it was just a sweeping introduction. And now I'm going to give you, this was, part of the development of the live stream. And there are still introductions. We haven't gone to the main agenda. There's a main agenda today. And Maka Paka was saying, hey, greetings to you, Paka. So now we are going to the another, like it's not like really related to the main objective, but we can say there's something, you know, which also happens in those countries, which is related to the topic I'm talking about today. So today we are going just to mention the countries of Africa. I haven't mentioned the countries of Africa. I've mentioned the countries of Asia and previously, and the countries of Europe and the United States. So I haven't done Africa and South America. So another time I will do the countries of South America. Countries like Brazil, Colombia, what's the other one? Yeah, Argentina, those countries. I will come up with their list as well. So today, let's go down. These countries, like most of them are like in the southern hemisphere. So we start with Algeria. Algeria, these are countries of Africa. And they say there are 54 countries of Africa. So I'll mention the country and the capital, and the capital city. So we have Algeria. The capital city is called Algiers. It's just like, has the same sort of, name with the country. Algeria, the capital is Algiers. Then Angola, the capital is Luanda. Then we have Benin, and the capital is Porto Novo. I think it's like French, like I don't. It sounds like French. Then Botswana, the capital is called Gaborone, or Gaborone, something like that. Then we have Burkina Faso. It's like central part of Africa. The capital is Kwadadogo. Kwa. I think Kwa is like, what language is Kwa? Aqua. Yeah, I think isn't it like French, like, yeah. Then we have Burundi. The capital city is called Gitega. Oh, I don't even know. First time to know this capital. Then we go on. Cameroon. Cameroon is like, it's west coast of Africa. And the capital city of Cameroon is Yaoundé. Is it Yaoundé, Cameroon. Then we have a country called Cape Verde. The capital city is Praia. Then we have Central African Republic. The capital is Bangui. Then we have Chad. Chad is another country. I think it's in west coast of Africa. No, Chad should be like near central, sort of, to the north, but central, sort of. Chad, the capital city is N'Djamena. N'Djamena. Then we have Comoros, the capital city Moron. I think they're sort of like islands. I will check here. Then we have a country, it's a large country called the DR, Democratic Republic of Congo. The capital city is called Kinshasa. Kinshasa. Then we go on. We have a country called Egypt, where it all began, where all the pyramids began. You know, someone was saying, I don't know if it's true, that maybe things like civilization, I don't know what, someone was saying, oh, maybe it began in Egypt, We were just talking with a friend, and we just said, oh, Egypt, that's where those pyramids are. And, then someone said, oh, maybe that's where it all began. We don't really know. We need to read about that. So the capital city of Egypt is Cairo. Then we have a country called Equatorial Guinea. That means it's like along the equatorial. The equatorial runs from cross to cross. So this country called Equatorial Guinea is a capital called Malabo. Then we have Eritrea. I think it's Eritrea. It is a city called Asmara. Then we have Eswatini down the south part of Africa. And the capital is Mbambane. Mbambane. Oh, we have someone coming in now. Just as I was talking about Eswatini. And we have a new guest. That is Maya. Maya. Hello, Maya. Maya underscore URFAV. You're saying hi. Lovely to have you in the live stream, Maya. I'm just talking about the capital city, the countries of Africa and the capital cities. So I'm happy to have you here. How was your day? And feel free to be part of the audience. So we go on from Eswatini, we go to Ethiopia. Ethiopia. There is a capital city called Addis Ababa. What a name. I think I like this name. Addis Ababa. It's just a nice name. Then we have Gabon. And it's also a nice name. Libreville. Libreville. That's the capital city of Gabon. Then we have some country called Ghana. And the capital cities also, all the capital cities, they're really nice. I mean the names, like Accra. I don't know what Accra means. So I think when I get time, I need just to find out what this is, capital letters. Do they have, capital cities, do they have a meaning? So I'll like just do a random, pick out of the capital cities of these African countries and just find out if they have a meaning, you know. So we said Ghana is Accra. Then we have Guinea, a country called Guinea is Conakry. 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 Then we have are there two Guineas? I'm not sure if there are two Guineas there. Then we have Kenya. Kenya, the capital city of Kenya. They say it's Nairobi, but I think they have an important city as well. So I'm not sure whether the other one or Nairobi. I'll check that one. Then we have Lesotho. The capital city is Maseru, Lesotho. A country called Lesotho. Then we have Liberia. That name rings a bell to me, Yeah. Of some events of long back, Liberia. So the capital city of Liberia is Monrovia. Then we have a country called Libya. The capital city is Tripoli. Then in Madagascar, we have a capital city called Antananarivo. Oh dear. Antananarivo. That's why I'm suspecting that, oh, these capital cities, they should have a meaning behind them, which I'm going to find out later. Then we have another country called Malawi. Malawi? The capital city is called Lilongwe. Lilongwe. Then Mali is called Bamako. That's the capital city of Mali. Mauritius. And they say it's Port Louis, something like that. And Morocco, Rabat. Then Mozambique, there's a country in the east of Africa called Mozambique, and the capital is Maputo. Maputo. And there's Namibia, the capital city is called Windhoek. Windhoek. What language that is? Windhoek. Windhoek. There's Niger. Niger. The capital is Niamey. Then Nigeria. According to the sources, they are saying the capital is Abuja. I don't know about Lagos, between Abuja and Lagos. So they say the capital is Abuja. That's fine. Then Rwanda, we have a country called Rwanda. That country, the capital is Kigali. Kigali. And then we have Sao Tome, Principal and the Principal. And the capital is Sao Tome. Senegal. Oh, I still remember the Senegalese team used to be very good at football. I don't know if they're still good at football. They used to play well some time back. So the capital city of Senegal is Dakar. Then we have Seychelles. The capital city is Victoria. Victoria. And we have Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone. The capital city is called Freetown. Freetown. Then we have more Somalia. Somalia. Oh, Somalia. All right. I didn't know. The capital city, they say it's Mogadishu. Then we have South Africa. When you hear South Africa, you think, oh, maybe it's Johannesburg. Oh, maybe it's Pretoria. But the capital city, they say it's Pretoria. Then there's Sudan, there's Juba, there's Tanzania, there's Dodoma, there's Togo, there's Lomé as the capital. Then there's Tunisia, the capital is Tunis. Then Uganda, like it's more or less like you can't say it's south, you can't say it's north Africa, it's like central. Uganda, the capital city is Kampala. Then we have a country called Zambia. Zambia. I don't know what it means. And they say the capital is Lusaka. Then we have the last on the list, because we're doing like alphabetical order. So the last on the list is a country called Zimbabwe, and the capital city is called Harare. So those are the countries of Africa. It just gives me like joy to know the countries of the whole world. So next time I hear about like Seychelles, I will know, oh, Seychelles, I think it's in Africa, in the continent of Africa. And when I hear a country called Chad, I was, oh, that should be Africa. And when I hear a country called Guinea, I say, oh, I think I heard it. It's like in Africa. And probably I might hear a country called Benin. Benin. Those are like quiet countries. We don't really hear much about them. And Benin, I say, oh, that one should be in Africa. So the countries which we hear most about, like in my opinion, the countries which like we hear most, people talk much about them. In my opinion, I think it's like South Africa, Nigeria, which other country? Maybe Ghana, Kenya, Egypt, Morocco, Cameroon. Those are sort of like Kenya. They're sort of like Ethiopia. They're sort of like popular. So those are the countries of Africa, and we need just to have an awareness, of the countries of the world, so that uh, even when we talk about weather, we can also say, oh, we were saying they were like the weather has been like challenging in the north of England and central. The weather has been challenging of recent in Jamaica. So it's also good to know what else is happening weather-wise in these other countries. Like in Italy, we just heard that they've been affected by some parts of Italy. Have been affected by the floods. So it is also good to know. Oh, what's the weather like at the moment? Maybe in Cameroon. Just to know. Knowledge is just good. Knowledge is just it makes us just have something to talk about. So when the weather has been terrible here. How about the weather at the moment in Ethiopia? Then we just make like some comparisons, and we just know what is happening around the globe. Because why should we say that the world is a globe, is a global village, and yet we don't know what's happening in like in a Botswana, just example. The world is a globe, and we don't know what's happening in Peru. So just knowing this, like international affairs, current affairs, it is something good. It makes us feel like good. It makes us feel belonging. Yeah. We don't want to, for example, I'm speaking on behalf of myself. In my opinion, I just love to know what is happening worldwide. I don't want like to live without knowledge. If I know, I would. It doesn't mean I want to know everything. It's just one or two things, weather-wise, or you can talk about industrialization and know what's happening. What is the new products coming from China? What are the new type of cars being produced in the United States? And what's the tourism status of Italy? Those are worldwide affairs which we should know. You know, I can say I know much about I'm living. But knowing about other countries is a good thing. It just make our brain like active, and you know there's nothing as good as having knowledge. It is really a good thing. And we can also learn about the new products on the market, which country is producing what, and where is the raw materials coming from. All those things, they are very interesting to know. They are really interesting to know. So I'm happy because we have lots of people who have just come in the live stream, and which is beautiful, So we can now jump on to our topic for today. All that was introduction. Oh, the introduction today was just like, it was like, what can I say? It was like a mixed introduction. From weather, we went to the States of America, and then we ended up going down to Africa, and just um, identifying the countries, the 54. So 54 countries in Africa, imagine, and 50 states in America. So you see the size, you know. So the countries of Africa are 54, and we now know some of the cities. Yeah, we can always like Name some of the cities of African countries. So if someone says, "Oh, do you know Eritrea?" Eritrea, then you can say, "Oh, Eritrea. I think I've heard about it. I think it's in Africa." You know. And if I say there's a city called Accra, Accra, can you tell us where Accra is? Then you just like think deeply, think deeply. They say, oh, Accra, I think is the capital city of Ghana, of a country called Ghana, you know. Then if you get more interest, you can then, like go deeper into Ghana and say, oh, Ghana, what really happens in that country? Do they have any like raw materials, how do they sustain their economy? Then you can dwell onto that, sustainability, what's their economy like? What do they do? Do they do mining? Do they do farming? Do they do like industrial, because those are the most of the areas which bring, bring like revenue to countries. Mining, agriculture, commercial, industrial, what else? To tell you, maybe like uh, social, social enterprises like tourism, hotels, all those. So or to do like social, and commercial at the same time. So let's now go into our topic for today. Our topic for today: how do you prepare for car journeys? Not like a car journey which takes 10 minutes. No. How for a car journey which is known as a long distance car journey. So that's our goal today. We just want to discuss if you are going on a car journey, a long distance car journey. Maybe you are a passenger, you are the main passenger, or you are and accompanying a driver, or you are the driver. How do you prepare? And how do you manage a long distance journey? You need to manage a long distance journey. And what is this long distance journey? Here where I am in the United Kingdom, they use like miles. They don't. They usually use miles. So if the distance is like 100 miles, like the destination, the destination is 100 miles away, or the destination is like 200, 300. You can drive like 400 miles away. Or maybe some people can even exceed the 400 miles. Driving your car. Whether it's a small car, a big car, a van, a lorry, a haulage truck. So people go distances. From city to city. They go long distances. But today we're just talking about a car. The the requirements for the journey are more or less the same, whether it's a small car, you know, or a haulage truck. You know, what we need to do is more or less the same. But let's imagine we are going by a car. We are going by a car. Our journey is maybe on Saturday, this coming Saturday. We want to travel maybe from this big city to another big city, and this big city is like 400 miles away, and it is approximately, you might take like 6 hours or more to get to that destination. So the first thing you consider is the distance. What is the distance like? So where do you get this distance? Nowadays we are really privileged. We have the Google Maps. and other platforms can tell you, well, you can just give you if you like click here, look, if you go on Google Maps, you should be shown the map where you are going. All you need to do is just to put the postcode, and if you have the actual address, it will be even helpful. Maybe you are going to number 2 Fish Street. It's just an example. I don't think there's a number 2 Fish Street. Maybe you are going to number 2 Fish Street in maybe Liverpool, or in Newcastle, or in Edinburgh, or in London. So if you are going to that, what you do is you just go on the app, on Google, and then you just enter the address and the number 2 Fish Street, and then the postcode. Then Google Maps will show you the map, and Google Maps will also show you show you the map, and they will just like show you the journey, like with some lines, the journey. And sometimes if they are like alternative routes, they will show, oh, you can either use this route, or you can use this route, or this route, which is really a good thing. So you choose your route, which you want to follow. And sometimes some people would love to like travel along motorways, and some people would love to travel along the like sort of quieter roads, like the rural roads. It depends with the individual. So we are planning to go to a faraway city, which is like 400 miles away from us, and we are going to take even 6 or more hours to get there. So the first thing, go on your Google, and then just give an idea of your journey and a rough estimate of the traveling time. Then after that, now you know where you're going. What you need to do, so it depends whether your car is an electric car, or a car which is like petrol or diesel, or maybe some people have like hybrid. So if your car is maybe, let's start with the electric vehicle. So what do you need to do in terms of the fuel? We are looking at the fuel bit there. So if it's an electric car, you need again to go on these apps, which will show you where the charging points are, because usually with the electric cars, you need, like, when you charge them, maybe after a certain distance, depending on the car, you need to charge again. Maybe after a certain distance, you need to charge again. So you need just to go on your app. There's an app, which shows charging points, for electric vehicles. So you have an idea that, oh, maybe when you get to maybe you are going to some place far away. No, when you get, for example, to a place called like Newcastle, so I need to charge the car. When you get to Leeds, I need to charge the car. When you get, maybe we go on and on, I need to charge the car. So you have an idea of the charging points for your electric vehicle. So when it comes to diesel and electric and petrol, just the best thing is just to, it's a long distance you are going to travel. Just do the full tank, and then at the same time, you need to know where you can have a break and fuel again, because maybe the fuel tank won't reach your distance. So just get prepared. Oh, when we go to that, when we are on our way, there's like a services, they are called services, where you can just branch and then fuel your car again. So that's a diesel, or you need the services where you can fuel. So Sometimes they say even people can drive for 10 hours, 10 hours or more. And the people can drive a distance of 700 miles, on the road. But it doesn't mean that they will be like on the road for the whole journey. That's why there's always um, some chance to take breaks. You take breaks as you go. You take some breaks. We call uh, services. They are called services. You can branch off and take a break. Then when you take your break, there's time to refresh. There are facilities to refresh yourself. There are facilities to have a snack, and there's facilities to have some drinks, just to make you again fresh again, so that you get on the road, back on the road again. So the services are really important for long journeys by car. And now we are now going to we said we need to check Google Maps to plan the journey and to know which route we are taking. Then after you know where you're going and everything, now it's time to look at your vehicle. Now have a look at your vehicle, and so that you have that confidence that, oh, the car will take me to maybe to stop on Trent, or the car will take me maybe to a place called Barnet, or the car will take me to a place called which one? Liverpool, something like that. So what you need to do is to check the car. Now you have your journey, you know where you're going. Next thing, checking the car is vital. You need to check the car. So what do you check on your car? It doesn't matter whether the car is just like the car is just like brand new, or the car is like 1 year old, or the car is like maybe 5 years old. Checking the car is always good for any car. So what do we check? We should thoroughly check the car. Especially nowadays, it's becoming cold, and the cars easily, the windows easily show frost. They show frost. So make sure the heaters in the car are working, and to know how to operate them. Because if you just have a new car, sometimes you start to wonder, oh, where is the heating for the car? And you don't want a state where the windscreen is covered with frost. You don't like that situation. So always know your car, know the mechanics of your car, know the nitty gritties of the car, know your dashboard. What this button is for. And then, what is the other button for? Because you don't want a situation where maybe you are trying to increase the heat, and in doing that you increase the cool air. Then it becomes, it doesn't it won't be okay if you do that. So just know those buttons in your car. And these modern cars, I've seen some cars, you see the dashboard is loaded with several buttons, several like buttons. And when you go into this car, you start to wonder, oh, what are all those buttons for? So know the basics of your dashboard. Know which one is the heating, which one is the defroster, because the defroster will help to drive the frost from your car. Oh, we have black people. Hello, black people. Black people has just joined us. Is awesome. And black people are the chosen of God, is saying. Mary is receives and saying hello, hello, and is saying blessings to you. Thank you so much, Black. I'm really happy to have you in the live stream. And yeah, feel free and feel at home, and just uh, be free to air your sentiments or any questions. So today we are talking about long car journeys. So I'm saying, I've seen like one of my family members. He used to drive a car, and he was asking me, "Oh, what do you think this button is?" And that is the driver of the car. So I'm saying we should know the what is on the dashboard. What's on them. All those buttons, we need to know how to operate them, and we need to know which one is the heating. Some cars, have heating for the seats. Some cars have heating for the seats, for the general air in the car, and some cars have heating for the feet. There's heating for the feet, and so that when it's like frosty, everyone in the car feels warm. So we need to know how to operate the cars. So black people is saying, thank you for the warm welcome. You are welcome, black people. What's the most important thing is to have you in the audience. That's the most important thing. So we're saying know the buttons, how to operate them, and know which one is the heater, the button for the heater, and the defroster for the windscreen. So we are checking the car bit by bit. We are checking the car. So check if the car is safe. You know. For example, maybe it is nearly to be checked. It's MOT. So if it's like nearly to be checked, it's MOT. You need maybe just to know if this car is still safe, for travel. Because when they do MOT, they'll check the tires and the mechanics, the tires, the brake fluid. They check the lights. They check everything. So maybe the car has maybe a month to go for MOT, and now you want to travel like 600 miles. So just be sure that although the MOT has been done, the car is still safe to travel. So we want the car to be safe, we want the car to be comfortable, and I've already said that we need to make sure we fuel the car, and make sure you know about the charging points for electric vehicles. And what else do you now? Let's go to the parts of the car. And I think the most important parts of the all of the parts are really important. But let's look at the tires. You know, whether the car is like new or whether the car is old, we need to make sure the tires are safe. So there are several things we need to check on the tires. We need to check the tire conditions. So what do we mean by tire conditions? We need to check if the car tires still have the tread. You check the tread. It's called the tread depth. When you look at the tire, there are some like lines, lines. I used not to know what all these lines were, but I just said, oh, maybe they are for friction. Of course, they are for friction along the road, but you need to check whether the treads are still, safe for the tire. So you check the tread depth, you check for the tire pressure. So tread depth, tire pressure. For example, these like modern vehicles, usually they will show you on if they show like a flashing sign. Usually they show a flashing sign. So that flashing sign usually it's indicating that, oh, you need to. And sometimes on the dashboard it will display that, oh, car pressure on the front left tire needs to be fixed. Car pressure, I mean tire pressure on this wheel left needs to be fixed, or right tire need to be fixed, or back left tire need to be, or back right tire. So the cars nowadays are really good because they will indicate, they will show that you need to sort the tire pressures of particular tires, you know. And you should also know that um, maybe different vehicles have different threshold for the pressure, you know. Yeah, they have different threshold for the pressure. So I say 250, you know. So I say maybe two something, you know. So that's the threshold for the tire pressure. So just make sure the tire pressures are safe, you know, in their normal status. So we check the depth of the tread and we check tire pressure. That is for the tires, you know. And we do not want a situation where the tires are under inflated. You know, when they're under inflated, the car won't move like swift, like if we maybe, oh, let me go at the normal speed limit, like 70 on the motorway, and the car is like under inflated. It will not, like, you will be like straining it because the tire pressures are not you know, in their normal status. So it's not a good idea to underflate tires. Even or maybe you go to a zone which requires you 40 miles per hour. You try, "Oh, why is this car seem to be struggling?" Maybe you want to do maybe the 35 miles per hour, and the tires are underflated, or one of the tires is underflated. The car will be struggling, you know. So it's no good to have underflated tires. So we should be aware of that. So what's the disadvantage of underinflated tires? There are known disadvantages of faulty tires, whether they are underflated, whether the tread is gone, or whether the pressure is not the safe pressure for the tires. There will be challenges when we have such tires. The first one will be the car will be struggling. Oh, so when the car is struggling, is this when you have like um like poor treads, or the pressure is not good, and you know, like underinflated. What will happen is the disadvantage. One of the disadvantages is that it will cost you more. I don't know the mechanics, you know, of how the car will use more fuel. You know, I think it says it all because the car will be like struggling because the wheels are like inflated, so they don't have that like the friction. You know, like when they move along the road, the tire should have a certain like strength, so that they just like cruise on the road. But if they are under inflated, there is that struggle. So as the car struggles, that means it will use more fuel. That's what I think happens. Yeah, I think I'm just suspecting that. So because it is said, if the car tires are underinflated and the trade is not good, it will be there will be an impact in terms of fuel, you know, fuel costs, you know. Oh, we have another visitor coming. That is Rosanna TV vlog. Rosanna TV vlog. Hello, Rosanna. How are you? It's lovely to have you in the live stream. Rosanna said, "Hello, Mary Z. How are you? Good morning." Oh, it is morning there. Wow. And Rosanna TV said, "How are you, Mary Z?" I'm fine, Rosanna. And how are you? So nice to have you in the live stream. And Rosanna TV says, I am good, Mary Z. Oh, that's nice. I think you are. Where is Rosanna? Yeah, you are in the morning now. Wow. Rosanna says, good, Mary Z. Oh, that's very nice. And black people, the chosen say, Rosanna TV vlog 77. Hello and blessings to you. And Rosanna is saying, I saw you. Beautiful. Oh, yeah, I'm trying to do what you do. You are very good at doing this, Rosanna. You are very good. I hope everything is good with you, Rosanna TV. Yeah. So today we are talking about long distances, driving long distances. Wait, my glasses. We are talking about driving, going long distances by car. Oh, that's lovely, Rosanna. Nice to have you here in the live stream. Feel free to, to connect with others there. Feel free and, you know, yeah. I was saying, oh, Rosanna should be in the Philippines. That's why you are in the morning at the present time. Yeah, Rosanna, I heard that there was also like floods in the Philippines. Is that true? Yeah, I think the weather was not that good, like of recent there in the Philippines. How is the weather there, Rosanna? How is the weather? Yeah, Rosanna is from the Philippines. Wow, that's beautiful. Thanks so much for coming to my live stream. It is really awesome. I'm really happy to see you in the live stream. I'm really happy. I'm really happy. So today we are talking about driving long distance by car. And Rosanna said, Mary Z, I'll be back. My daughter is coming. I opened the gate. Oh, that's lovely. That's, yeah, open for her. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. All the way from Philippines in the house. Wow, wow, wow. Who doesn't like that? That is awesome. That is awesome. So we are saying that for the tires, we need to check the tread, the pressure, and just check, if the tire is still like, in good condition. Because if the tires are not good, it will have an impact on your fuel. You will lose more fuel because the car will be struggling. It's struggling. The cars need to drive smoothly. You need a smooth drive. So the treads and the pressure help to have a smooth drive. Also, if the tires are not in a good condition, that poses like a sort of danger to everyone, the driver, the passengers, the public. So we need to be careful with the tires. We make sure that the tires are in good condition so that when we drive, our cars don't like skid, or don't like you lose control of them and they just like go, Sometimes it's because of the tires, you know. So the tires need to be correctly inflated, you know. Yeah, yeah, because as I said that the dashboard sometimes will tell you that, oh, we need to increase the tire pressures. So if you do that to tires, if you are always like maintaining your tires, they will last longer, and it also saves money, and it saves, it's for the safety of the public, and including the driver and the public. So it's a good idea to have the tires in the best ever condition. Yeah. So I'm saying this to everybody, like everyone needs to know. Even if you are not a car driver, and sometimes you might be a passenger, and maybe it's you who say, oh, my brother, can you take me to Newcastle? Or can you take me to Pretoria? Or can you take me to Lisbon? So, or can you take me to, what's this other city? To Toronto. So if you are a passenger, you also should contribute, contribute. It's, yeah, we're going by your car, my brother. But if you check the tires, just motivation, motivate the driver to do the right thing, to check the tires, motivate, ask the driver, is there enough fuel? You need to ask the driver, is there enough fuel? Oh, Oh, Dad, is there enough fuel? Mom, is there enough fuel? Auntie, is there enough fuel in the car? Oh, you can say, oh, brother, oh, James, oh, Peter, can we just pass through the service station and just pump up the tires, Even though you're a passenger, you need just to contribute, this is for the safety of everybody, And we don't just leave it to the driver. Oh, I don't know. The driver knows his car. Yeah, we know his car, but it's a courtesy. We call it courtesy. Just to say, are the tires okay? Is there enough fuel? Yeah. So you can always say, is there enough fuel? And we can give a helping hand, because it's a long distance. We are going 600 miles, to this city. So you need to be just, to be together with whoever, whether you are the driver or not the driver. You must have, the tendency of checking together the vehicle. This is like family, when it's like family driving together. So we have finished about the tires. And let's go. We've also talked about the AC. AC is the air conditioning, the heating, the cooling, So make sure the air conditioning is working, because you don't want the windscreen to be foggy. Because when the windscreen is foggy, it's so difficult. You can't see where you're going. And what will you do? So make sure, like when it's like in this cold season, the air conditioner is working so that you're able to see, you know. And so that even when people, like people usually, when we are passing each other, some people forget to dim, to dip dip the lights. So when your windscreen is clear, at least you can, you can be able to maneuver, to cruise. So it's very important to have AC working, AC, air conditioning of your car. And the other checks, I don't know, some vehicles, they need oiling, So check the fluid levels, you know. Yeah, but so like these modern cars, sometimes they are checked maybe once in a while. But some cars need checking the fluid levels, the coolant and the washer, because you need the washer to wash the windscreen as you travel. If it's like dusty or misty, you need the washers to be working. So that's the other thing. Make sure the washers are working. And it might start to have like showers, then the washers should be working. It might start to have like freckles of snow, and then the washers need to be working. But sometimes when the snow becomes too heavy, it is maybe advisable to just take a break, and then if you can be able to access a services, you can take a break, and then when it all settles down, then you can continue with your long distance drive. You can then continue with the long distance drive. And some people, what they do, yeah, it depends with the vehicle really, and what the driver, the owner of the vehicle is feeling. Sometimes some people would opt, when they have maybe a journey, a long journey, which they've planned to make maybe to a faraway place, they can take their cars for service. A car service is really good because that's when they check all these things I'm talking about. They check the maybe the fluid levels, the oil filters. They check maybe all sorts of things like the wind, the wipers. Are they working? They check the lights. You know, they check like the brakes and so on. So some people would take their cars for service, for a general service, more or a full service. So they call it a full service, so that on the day of the journey, it will be like free, free flow of driving. The car will be reliable, reliable. So, so we've talked about uh, tires, and we've also talked about wipers. You need to make sure they're working. And the other thing, the brakes, you need to make sure that your brakes are working. Because the brakes, oh my God, the brakes are so important. Because when you are driving along the road, it's rare that you are the only one driving along that road. And in most cases, like in these busy towns and like busy places, you are always like driving in a sort of a stream, one behind the other. So what about these brakes? They should be functioning. In case someone in front of you just thinks of braking, and when you are not really prepared to brake, then what you do is you just use your brakes as well, gently, of course. And then this will happen when the brakes are in good working order. So it's a good idea to check your brakes before you resume your long distance driving. So checking the brakes is important. Checking the wipes is important. Checking the tires is important. And the other thing which need to be checked are the lights. You need to check the lights because what we are talking about today is a planned journey. Not like, oh, I'm going to the supermarket like 10 minutes. Oh, let me check the lights. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a long distance. A planned journey. Maybe you've planned this journey like a month before or a week before. Even maybe you planned it a year before that. Oh, there's going to be a wedding. Maybe in that town can I say? There's going to be a wedding, in this town. So the wedding is going to be in next year, in March, or the wedding is going to be next month. So, so before this, you take this journey. Just before you get to near to that date, that's what you need to do. You need to check tires, you know, maybe a few days before you travel. You need to check the tires, the lights, the wipers, and the brakes. So with the lights, imagine your lights are not working, and this journey maybe is going to take like 4 hours, especially these days where I am. About 4:30, the it is already it is already dark. From 4:30, the it is already dark. So imagine you are going on that long journey and you are still having 2 more hours to go. 4:30 is already dark. and your arrival time is maybe 6:30 and it's dark. So you need the lights of the car to be functioning. When you flash them, functioning. When you dip them, functioning. And the rear ones should be showing, the brake lights should be working, you know, and the indicators, should be working so that you travel uh, well with the other road users, and if the lights are working, it becomes easy. You'll be able to dim your light, to dip them when you are meeting oncoming traffic. You dip your lights, and when you pass each other, then you make them, you bring them back, and you travel safely. So lights are really important. And when you brake, the one behind you should know that, oh, the person in front is braking. So this is all about road safety as well. So now we are going to the other part, which is really important. As you know, let's imagine now you are now on the road. Yeah, the vehicle is perfect. It is ready to go. The lights are working, the tires are in good condition, the wipers are working, and the brakes are working. And the other thing, even the doors, especially if you're traveling with like minors, when you're traveling, you make sure that your doors are working, and the door levers are responding to like safety precautions for the doors, which is really important as well. Oh, the other thing I'd left, even the seat belts, make sure the seat belts are in functioning order. So it makes the journey comfortable and safe. So when we are doing these long journeys, we are mostly prioritizing safety. You know, that's the thing you have in mind. Safety. Is the car safe? Will the journey be safe? So safety and then comfort. Mm. So when we talk about safety, I've already said tires, lights, brakes, wipers, and all the other nitty gritties. Knowing how you operate the little gadgets in the car is also helpful. So we are going now to the last part of the journey. We are imagining now. Now we are imagining that we are on the journey. We have just left home. We are going now. We are on our way to a place which is like 600 miles or 400 miles or 200 miles. We have just started the journey. Still, we should, there's other things which we should take note of. There are other things we should take note of. So now we have our map, we have put on the Google app, and we have an idea about the services, and what else? We have chosen a route which is maybe some people like sort of not very busy, where the route is not congested. Because sometimes the Google Maps will show you, oh, from this point, from this town, or from this road here to the next road, there's congestion. There's congestion. So sometimes we can even, oh, let's change the route. Let's use the one with no congestion. The choice is upon then you can always choose whatever route you want to use. So as you are now traveling on your journey, there are some very important things you need to take note of. Now imagine you are now on your journey. Maybe you are the passenger or maybe you are the driver. They still there are things we need to take note of, especially the driver. Yeah, let's talk about the driver. The driver should be on the lookout of very important aspect of traveling, which are the road signs. You know, that's a very important aspect in traveling or in driving. But this one is not only for long distances. Every portion of the road, you should be always aware of the road signs. So be on the lookout for road signs. Mm. So why are road signs important? Road signs are very important to us because they are informative. They give us the information, and they are also, there for safety of every road user, whether you are like a car driver, a passenger, or a pedestrian. The road signs are very important for everybody. Everybody. You'd think, oh, why should I know that? If you're a pedestrian, sometimes you might say, oh, why shouldn't I know? I have an idea about road signs. For example, um, you know, if you are a pedestrian, if you don't know about, like the crossing, where the pedestrian cross, if you have no idea what it is all about, then you might get confused there, and maybe you will just, maybe when you arrive there, maybe you just keep on standing by side road, not knowing that that place usually, in most, in most like countries which are like modernized, people know that when you approach a place, the place where pedestrians have the priority of crossing, you need to stop your vehicle and allow the pedestrian to cross. So the pedestrians should also know that, oh, this place, that's the place we are more or less safe to cross the road, So if pedestrians have knowledge and drivers have knowledge, it is a good thing, because both parties will be safe, whether a pedestrian or a driver will be safe to use that particular road. So let's just look at the other signs which you meet, when as you drive, as you take this long distance drive, you meet many signs, and and you should be aware of the signs, and drivers are always aware of the signs. So this is just a discussion, and yeah. So there's signs like triangular signs, you know they tell you what you have to do. Sometimes you see like the circular signs. This usually the circular signs are like are represented by a red circle. So this red circle is saying you are ordered. It is mandatory. You need to do this. So if you see a red sign, and then you see inside the red sign, they've written there is like 40, for example. It means you about around, you should drive at 50 miles or less in this area. So it is mandatory. It is an order. So the red circle is an order. So as you go to on your long distance, be alert and be watchful for these mandatory signs, road signs. They usually stand for speed limits, or sometimes they will show you that this area is no go area. True. The red circle sometimes red circle will tell you that, oh, there are roadworks going on, and along this part of the road you need to do not more than 50 miles per hour. So the red circle is an order. It is mandatory and it should be obeyed whatsoever. It should be obeyed because it is a law. And the triangle. So if it's like on the motorway, sometimes if you are traveling on the motorway, you'll see this red sign, and you'll see they sometimes they write 40 inside the red circle. Sometimes they say 50 inside the red circle. Sometimes you get like 60 inside the red circle. Oh yeah. Hello, Ether. Ether is saying, oh, we need the music in the car. Yes, that's true. Yeah, but with the music, just be careful if you you know with the music. It's good to have music in the car. But what I can say about music is the car is that if you are the driver driving, it is always maybe if you are alone, you shouldn't like touch things when you are concentrating on the road. But if you have maybe a passenger, you can always tell them that, oh, can you change that music to maybe Capital, BBC, whatever, or Capital, or another station. A passenger can do that for you because it is really not advisable, just to play on the gadgets, even to touch a phone. It's not allowed. So you need to be careful. It's not allowed to use the phone. Yeah, yeah, because always keep the eyes on the road. Yes, that's what we are saying, Ether. Thank you for that contribution. Because here we want to prioritize safety. It's all about safety. Remember, it's a long journey, 400 miles away or 600 miles away from to reach the destination. So just be careful with what you do. The only main thing is stay focus. Because as it is a long journey, you might get a bit tired at some point. So it's advisable just to concentrate, stay focused, and when you are like tired, pull off the road and go to the services and get refreshing. Maybe have your favorite drink there, have maybe, they sell all sorts of things, and get some refreshments. Then you are like a newly. It's when you come out of the services, it feels like, oh, you are just like starting another journey. So it's advisable to go to the services and relax a little bit. You can take maybe, if maybe you wanted to reach that destination maybe at 6 o'clock, it's okay to reach like 6:30, something, or 6:15. So you have some of the minutes at the services. It helps a lot to stay, to make yourself freshened again. Either say, yes, always keep eyes on the road. Exactly. And Ether is saying, I love going to the services. Yeah, that's a good thing, because we need to reach our destination. It's far away. It's 600 or 400 miles away. So we need that freshening up. It will help us really to stay focused and be alert and enjoy the journey. Because if like you are feeling a bit grumpy, like you have traveled maybe 200 miles or 100 miles, can you do 100 before you rest? I don't know. It depends. Maybe you have already traveled like 80 miles, so you need a break, or 60. You need a break. It's very nice. It's very nice because in these countries, like there are a lot of services. As you go on your journey, you have various services. You can go and have a little bit of a break. I've noticed also, some people will just like, if they are going on long journeys, they'll just take maybe rest for the night. Well, some services have like hotels near them. So some people will just like take a break and go, and just rest in the hotel and then start again, maybe the following morning. Do that. So we all love services. I love services, and yeah, that is a good idea. So we're talking about the red circle. That as you are traveling, just be on the lookout of the red circle. And sometimes, as you are traveling, for example, if you are traveling along a motorway, you'll see that the speeds will change. They change the speeds according to what is happening in the on the motorway. If there's lots of like congestion, you see, oh, they will reduce the speed. Maybe they'll tell you, oh, everybody is doing 40. So you need to abide by that. Or everybody should keep the speed to 50 or to 60. Or then when there's no longer restrictions, then you'll see they will put now the normal speed limit. They will put some like cross lines on the circle, meaning people can now do the normal speed limit. They can drive within the speed limit. Like on the motorway, it will be like 70. You are not allowed to exceed 70. You can even go a little bit less. It's not like, oh, it's 70, let me just keep on doing 70. It depends. You can just drive safely. As long as you know that the limit is 70, but you can do like, within, just to be safe, just to be safe. So now we know that road signs are part of our long journey. Oh, they are really important. So besides the triangular signs, I think we can give them like in priority, prioritize them. I think the first one at the top should be the circular one. The circular one. Just be on the lookout of the circular, a circle, the red circular circle or the red circle. That's the most important one among the signs, I think. Then we have the triangles. Just be on the lookout of them as well and do what the triangles are asking you to do. And then we also have the information signs. Usually they're like in blue. They will tell you, they are like rectangular, most of them. They are just for information. They will tell you whether there is like a hospital nearby, or whether there is like maybe there's some services where you're about to reach. They're usually in blue, so they are there to inform, to guide you about what is happening, what is near you. And yeah, so the main important thing is, let's know what these signs are saying to us: the red circle, the triangle, and the information, the informative. So the informative signs can tell you services, parking. Yeah, they tell you parking as well. And they tell you the distance. As you're traveling, you say, oh, it's now maybe there are some signs you say, oh, maybe 20 miles to reach this town, something like that. They also tell you the distance. The blue informative signs, they are usually in blue. And the red triangles usually show you warning. They give you warnings. They can give you warnings of hazards on the road. Like if the road is curving, you see the red triangle with a curving sign. They can also tell you if there's going to be a level crossing. A level crossing. Yeah. Level crossing is where the road is crossing a railway line. So usually they is how to approach a level crossing. And what should you do? You need to be careful because when the train is a priority um, when crossing the level crossing. The trains are given priority. They cross first, and the motorists will just wait. They wait either side, and usually there are barriers. So you don't need when the barriers are closing. A sign that the train is about to come, and the barriers are closing like this. Usually they are up like this. Then when they are closing like this, you let them close. Let the barriers close. If they take their time, they will close. Then you will wait behind the barriers. It doesn't matter that you are going a faraway place. You have to wait. Then the train crosses, and the train passes. And sometimes it's like to take maybe sometimes it takes like it depends with the level crossing and it depends with the train, how many coaches that train has. Sometimes the train has many coaches, so you just wait there patiently. You wait there patiently. You let the train cross, 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 go. Despite it's taking time, it doesn't matter. Because you always reach your destination if you practice the patience and if you practice you take the safety precautions, and you have patience, then the train will go by. Then after the train goes by, the barriers will open, and then you cross the level crossing. I don't know why it's called the level crossing. And there are lots of things I need to find out. Why is it called level crossing? I think I need to find out. I know it's for the train, but why the word level? That's my question. Level crossing. Wow, I never thought about that. I need to find out why the name level crossing. Yeah, it's fascinating. And sometimes um, when I go to the allotment, to the garden, we also pass. I go there with my sister. And she's driving the car, So sometimes we pass. We cross the level crossing, And sometimes when the train is coming, there will be like long queues of the cars, waiting for the train to cross. I just love to see the train. It's really fascinating. I'll just be staring at it as it crosses the level crossing. Yeah. So it is really fascinating. So as we continue with our journey of 400 or 600 miles, this is what we need to take note of. The red triangles warning us for hazards. Yeah, sometimes they can even warn us of like if the roads are like flooded, we get warning as well. Get warning of bends, like caves, and get warning of maybe there are people. Road works. Sometimes we have maybe red, and sometimes they can even show the as we go on our journey again, we are on our journey, seeing all these things, seeing all these traffic signs, road signs. We will meet loads of them. Sometimes we can meet a detour, there's a detour. It means that road is that road. And then after the detour, then you can see a diversion. Oh, diversion. Oh my God, diversion. Diversion is somehow challenging because you remember you have planned your you have planned you have gone to Google Maps, and when you're still at home, and you have said, oh, I like this road here, we are going to pass through this town, like we are going to pass Essex, through Essex, then it's just an example. Then as you are, you had planned to pass through this town. Then as you go like deeper, deeper along your route, then you see a diversion. Oh my dear, diversions can be a bit tricky sometimes, because I remember one time when I was traveling with someone, we met this diversion, and we were taken to like we were then taken to like a rural sort of road, which we have never traveled. So when we were on this diversion, we were just it became like, oh, where are we going? Because the environment was different, and it was like a rural setup. So sometimes diversions can be a bit challenging. But what can we do? We need to follow. We will follow. It's the law. And these diversions are usually like, they are mandatory. They are order. We are ordered to take another road. So when you meet diversions, even though you are going on your long journey, it doesn't matter. You just go through that diversion, because ultimately they know, the people who put the diversion, they know that from after traveling a certain distance, you are again connected to your favorite route. So diversions are expected as we go on our long journey. And so diversions, we meet them sometimes. And as I just like pick, and I'm just going to pick a few examples of the road signs. There's a road sign which is really, really important. I'm not saying all of them are not important, but there's one particular sign which is like very, very important. So this sign, I think most motorists know this sign. And everyone, I think, even some passengers, they know this sign. And this sign, I tell you, as for me, I consider it to be very important. And this sign is called the stop sign. I consider it to be very important. I'm not saying a giveaway sign is not important. Neither am I saying a sign showing a rail crossing is not important. But I feel, in my opinion, I think the stop sign is very important. Why I say that is because where they put the stop sign, sometimes it is like a hidden entrance or a hidden side road, and sometimes it's really very busy with like other motorists and so on. So it is a sign which you should always, be on the lookout for. So as you go on your long journey, just be on in the lookout for stop sign. And also very important, just on the giveaway sign. Don't just like, when there's a giveaway sign, slow down, you know, slow down, and then just check if it is, safe to proceed. But with the stop sign, you need to stop first. You have to stop. Each time you come up to a stop sign, you need to stop. Then, when you check, and then you proceed with caution, but you need to stop. But sometimes the traveling on the roads is made easy because of traffic lights. Traffic lights, easy because you need to obey the red, you need to obey the green and the amber. You know what to do. So I've talked about the speed limits, with the red circle. I've talked about the level crossing, and I've talked about the giveaway and the stop sign. But the other one again, I know there are lots of these traffic signs, but the other one which you should be aware of again is the a school zone, the school zone, where there's a school, maybe on your way you have made a diversion and you are now passing, you are now driving through a residential area, so you need to take, precautions and drive carefully because you might pass an area where there's a school zone, the signs will be there, school. So what do? Do the speed required there, Some will say maybe 10 miles per hour or 20 miles per hour. It depends. So we just have to obey the road traffic signs, and so that we arrive at our destination, which is like a long distance away. So just to the main things here before I close is that when you are planning a long journey, plan it, like in time, and make sure the vehicle is safe, and know which route you are taking. And when you are on the day of traveling, you are driving your car, just be alert of um, the road signs, the speed limits, and know where the services are, and then you will have an enjoyable drive to your destination. So this is what I wanted to share, about going on a long journey. So the tires, check the tires, check the lights, check the wipers, check the brakes, that they're in good working condition, and then you can embark on your trip, which is far away. So I hope you have enjoyed this, like, it's just a discussion and just sharing one or two, pieces of information. So I just want to thank the people who managed to come to the live stream. So we have Etha. Etha was here today. And we had Rosanna TV Vlog. Rosanna TV Vlog came to support Mary Z Easy Recipes, which is beautiful. So Rosanna TV Vlog was here, and Ether 66. Thank you ever so much for the live stream. And we also had black people was here to support Mary Z Easy Recipes. That was beautiful. And just checking the people who were here. And Maya was here to support Mary Z Easy Recipes. Thank you so much, Maya. And Leah, hi, Leah was here as well. What beautiful people these are. And Adam underscore Brami. Adam underscore Brami. Oh, I left the other one there. Maka Paka was here as well. It's M.A. Maka Paka. Thank you, Maka Paka, for gracing the live stream. And we also had Adam underscore Brami. Thank you, Adam underscore Brami. Underscore Brami. Let's see if there's anyone I left. World tours, yeah, all the way from, is it India, Pakistan? World tours came to support Mary Z Easy Recipes. Wow, what a beautiful group of people. We also had Hugo Price. Hugo Price was in the house. Thank you, Hugo Price, for coming over. The journey continues. Tomorrow, there's another another live stream tomorrow. It's a daily bread, like daily bread. Up to November. When November goes, then we have other plans. Then we had Emma, Fetch, Emma. Is it Emma? It's Emma here. It's Emma. Oh, I like the spelling of your name. Emma. Wow, that's beautiful. Emma was here. Emma Fetch. Thanks, Emma. Emma, thank you for attending the live stream. We also had AXW. AXW said, "Oh, I won't miss this live stream. Let me just go and support." So AXW was the first one to come to the live stream. And all I can give, I don't have, like there's some who say, I don't have this and that, but all I have is now to express my gratitude. So thank you everybody who sacrificed the time to come and have a chat with me, where we were just exploring, these vehicles. We need to explore them and to plan the journeys so that we arrive at the destination. Thanks all for attending, and I'm really happy and appreciate everybody.